If you've ever signed a contract without reading it, then this video is for you. And if you like what you see, click like and subscribe for weekly tips on legal wellness and how to stay safe. Now, I highlighted signing a contract. They're everywhere. We sign things we don't see and read. Look at what we do online. And the small print is what gets you. And it gets you a lot of the time. And that's really the problem. I can't tell you the number of examples I've seen involving myself, my clients, my family, where we've signed things that we wish we hadn't. But a little ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It really is, especially in your legal world as it concerns your legal wellness. And if you pay attention to what you're signing, even if you don't totally get it, at least you're familiar with it, you're comfortable or less uncomfortable about it, so that when something inevitably happens to you, and it probably will, it won't come as a real surprise, and you might have a little better aptitude and insight into what to do about it. So read your contracts, pay mind to the deals you do, stay legally well, stay legally safe, and I'm going to help you do it. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. My son, who is a senior in college, he's got some fraternity brothers. They rented a house 2 years ago, and they made a mess of it. I mean, such a mess that the landlord said, "Get the hell out." And they said, "Fine, we're out of here." The landlord even said, "You're such a pain in the neck that I'm going to let you leave without having to pay for anything. I just want you out of my hair, out of my life." And they said, "You know what? Works both ways. We're gone." And they left. They signed something saying that too, by the way, very important. Thing is, fast forward a few weeks, they get a bill from the landlord for $30,000. I kid you not, I could show it to you. And he said, "This is for all the damage you did on your way out and making you pay for it. Here's the contractor's bill. Here are his particulars." And they're freaking out because these are 3 college kids and they don't have anywhere near that. And they don't want to tell their parents. So who do they tell? They tell me. I get involved. First thing I do is, of course, I take a look at the contract. And I see all these little things in there that they didn't notice. Why? Not because they glossed over it, but instead because they never read it. I said, "Y'all never read the contract, did you?" They're like, "No, we really didn't. We just signed through. We all do it. We're all guilty of it." Well, that's where it got him. And here's how I got him out of it. I read the contract. There are a lot of particulars that went their way, such as, for instance, there was something on the banister was broken. And there was a provision in the contract that said the tenant is not responsible for banister-related problems or something along those lines. Yet he stuck in a line item for that. That came out. Here's a good one. When the leasing agent was there to kick him out, she saw a cat on the premises. And there were, no pets allowed. So this bill had a $150 charge per day for a cat for like 6 weeks or something. And in my response, which I put into a letter, I said, "Hey, listen, you don't know whose cat it was. You don't know whether any of the guys owned the cat. You don't know how long the cat was there. The cat could have been there for the first time the day you were there. It could have been a stray cat. You don't have any proof or basis to conclude that they owe you anything for the cat, much less $150 a day." So I went through the contract line by line by line. It's kind of boring, but you kind of have to do it when it's your own money at stake. And this is nothing you all can't do yourselves. And by the time I was done with my letter, I said, "We don't know anything. And by the way, you owe the guys $600. Sent the letter, never heard back. About 3 weeks later, I'm playing around online. I get on Zillow. I put in the address of the property. And turns out the landlord had just sold it for $2 million. I took a look at the pictures. The place looked great. He wanted these guys to spend $30,000 of their money underwriting or paying for the rehab project for his property that he was then going to sell and profit from. None of it happened. They didn't have to pay a penny. They got out of it because they knew the law through me, which they could have done themselves had they read the contract, and it's nothing y'all can't do. So when I emphasize read your contracts, even if only to know what could end up happening to you, you might not have it out, so there's no surprise. Read them. You'll be better off for it. Again, I said it before, I'll say it again. An ounce of prevention is indeed worth a pound of cure. You often know what to do or what not to do, because you know what your duties and obligations are in a way you never would if you don't read the very contract that you sign. Do it. It'll hold you in good stead. To my mind, it's all about legal wellness, having an aptitude for an awareness of your legal rights to preserve your legal self, because the law affects all of us. It's like air. It's everywhere and you can't avoid it. If you want to be safe and sound in your legal body, which when things go sideways, you really feel it. You go crazy, you go broke, you're really stressed. It's not okay, and it doesn't have to happen most of the time. So these are just some examples of things that have happened to me, my friends, my family, clients, whomever. And they're ubiquitous, they're everywhere, and they'll happen to you, but they needn't. And when they do, you now have some idea of how to make things right. And if you want to hear more ideas and examples for how to make things right, subscribe, because the examples are endless and I will give them all to you for free, because it's all about being safe and sound collectively as a community. We all deserve legal wellness.